March might be up there.
Everything sucks.
Where's the camera?
Oh man, I feel like I want to tell Frank my story about my my ticket today.
You got a ticket?
No, okay, so I didn't get a ticket. Well, I got a ticket a while ago, I should say. I have tinted windows on my car, as a lot of you who have seen my car would know this. And I got pulled over, and I was in the middle of transitioning my insurance, and I didn't have the paperwork inside my car when I got pulled over.
Nice.
So it got put on there as no proof of insurance. So
Nice.
today I went to court this morning, the day before Christmas Eve, and talked to the judge. And I went to the judge, and I was like, he's like, hey, do you have proof of insurance? I was like, yes, of course I do. I just didn't have it that day. He's like, okay, well, you just saved a ton of money by bringing this in. And then I was like, yeah, I know, I switched to Geico. And everybody inside of the courtroom started busting up laughing. And like, that's not the place you make jokes, guys. But the judge like kind of had his little glasses on. He like took them off really quick, like leaned forward, gave me the look, like, yeah, I know what you're doing. That's pretty funny, but I can't acknowledge it. And then put his glasses back on, and then continued on with the rest of the thing. So yeah, I got to do the.
Do you know how much your ticket would have been? If
Oh
you
no,
didn't?
yeah, over $1,000 easily. So.
Yeah, over $1,000 if you don't have auto insurance.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, I switched to Geico.
Yeah. Did you really switch to Geico?
No, I didn't really switch to Geico. But what's funny is the bailiff, the little clerk's girl that was next to him, the translator for the Hispanic people, everybody was laughing. So
the little typewriter girl,
yeah,
she actually has to type that in.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so funny.
So that'll be on record as my funny moment for the day. So I had a good time with that. Quite funny.
Right. What would suck if he found you in contempt?
I know. I was thinking to myself when I said it, I was like, oh, I should have shut my mouth. But he just gave me that look of approval, like, that was a good joke, I'll give you it. So.
Alright, so I told people on Facebook that we'd be doing a little Q&A in addition to going over some of our guns and stuff like that. You have the least amount of guns, so why don't you start?
I have this one for right now. I do own a pistol, but I just don't, I haven't gotten it back yet, so.
Where is it?
Still, Amato still has it.
Oh.
He still has that pistol. It's all customized out. I just don't know when I'm going to get it back. Okay. So we'll go over a quick rundown. If you guys haven't seen my Tactical Gearhead video, which I didn't do, I told Bob to do it.
Well, we're going over our first. We're going over our first airsoft
Oh, this
guns.
is the first one?
This is the first one. That's why Frank brought in
my
over
first
reliable.
airsoft gun, but I don't have my first one still anymore. So I guess this is my first.
Explain what happened to your first airsoft gun.
They were borrowed from my car indefinitely.
They were stolen.
Somebody decided that what was in my car was worth more. I imagine in my mind it went down like this. They were like, oh, sweet, let's pop the door. Cool, let's pop the trunk. Dude, this guy's got real guns in here. Let's get all this stuff and get out of here. Took my plate carrier, my guns, and bounced. So I assume when they got home, they were like, dude, this fires BBs? What the heck? But yes, I got this as a replacement. I got it on sale one of the days that we had sales here. Lots of those days. This is a KWA SR7. There's not much SR7 left in this thing, probably besides the body. I really think the body's the only thing left. Almost everything in the internals has been replaced. There's a full detailed list breakdown in the video, but I mean, it's got Prometheus, R-Hop's inner barrel. There's some Siege Tech gears. I still got to get that piston from you eventually one of these days to lower the FPS.
Oh, the cylinder.
The cylinder, yeah, sorry. Modified motor. The motor is a Torx. Lonix high Torx motor. I put the G&G stop mod stock in there because I really like the way it looks. This does fit a battery, but it does take some modification. Inside of here, there's basically a nut that screws down this to the end, and you have to kind of file that off in order to fit the cord through, which I did somehow, don't ask me. And yeah, I put the Viking Stack Tool 9-inch rail with a shorter inner barrel. It's actually two pieces because I couldn't get the right length to fit properly to make the mock suppressor look, kind of flush inside with the rail. But when I originally did this, there's literally like no space on either side of these. I couldn't even fit a piece of paper in there. The fit was so tight. So that's pretty much there to stay. I got these MP7 iron sights from Tim because, I don't know, they're legit. I like them. They look cool. It's a different look to them. And I get a lot of questions and comments about this. I still don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I use the mag-well grip, but yeah, I don't know. It is kind of funny looking. I'll be the first to say it's not necessarily.
Why'd you get it then?
I mean, I got it because I wasn't going to run any rails up here, because, I mean, I can go like this or like this, but I mainly got it for CQBs, because I like this better than, I guess, my arm sticking out forward.
What is your stance on the mag-well grip, Frank? Because I know that a lot of real gun shooters are not really into that because of the possibility of, if there's a misfire or something like that, you can have a lot of hot gas, escaping out of the mag-well. I mean,
that's where I hold my.
Really?
When I play airsoft, that's where I
hold it right.
Because I like to kind of get crouched in the crouch bouncing position, if you will. But yeah, a lot of guys holding the gun out here. The first time I ran into it was actually before all the mag
Before the Magpul stuff.
all
The
that
Magpul
crazy
stuff.
stuff. It was the competition shooters that were doing that, and it just provides for a more stable platform.
Okay.
Right. Better management, recoil,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was real stable when you fired the gun. You can actually bring the gun right into your your shoulder, and you have a nice solid platform. And then sometimes you have barriers you got to shoot around. So while your hand's out there, you can actually just flip it around and kind of hold it like a cue.
So you can get that right against the
so
wall,
you can just
and then
get your palm up against the wall and use that as kind of like a bipod,
Right.
For further shots. So I mean, that's the first time I kind of ran into it, but I don't know. When I seen those Magpul videos, I was just like, oh.
yeah, they took it to another level. Yeah.
I was like,
Those guys definitely
wow.
took it to another level with their
Yeah,
their
it
dynamics.
looks pretty, but no,
So yeah,
it's a lot of movement to do while you have bullets whizzing by.
I've gotten so used to using a vertical grip with my gun that it feels weird if I don't have some sort of grip on. For a long time when I played CQB, back when Tech City used to be called Airsoft Playground, I had my Surefire M900 on that thing all the time because flashlights are a huge asset.
Yeah.
For close quarters combat. So I got so used to having a vertical grip on my gun. So like the AFGs feel really weird. We went out to HSP and I didn't have a vertical grip on my gun at that time. And it
Yeah, I was
just
going to
felt
ask you
kinda
about that
weird.
because you were using the LM4 and you didn't have a vert grip on.
Well,
it,
the reason
right?
I didn't, okay, I have my LM4 right here. At the time that we filmed that video, my sling mount was right here. The sling swivel thing.
Right.
And so if I have a vertical grip, the thing clinks around and makes a bunch of freaking noise. And so I did the whole like Magpul thumb over bore thing so I could hold on to the sling mount so
Totally
it wouldn't
different
make any
methodology.
noise.
Totally
Yeah.
different methodology.
So yeah, I didn't
so.
need any recoil management or
Pretty
anything like that.
funny.
I just didn't want the damn thing to make any noise, especially while I was moving around.
Right,
So
right.
it was more to conceal my location and movement.
And I will say this: there was a definitive time where I thought you were somewhere and you were not there. So like I saw you run in, and then I didn't, totally lost you for sound as far as that goes. So
Yeah, so this is your first AEG-ish.
yeah, I mean this is my first one. I would say that I really kind of went a little overboard with and had a good time with it. So I like it a lot. Oh, I have a Raptor MOSFET in here too, which is something that I'm still kind of working on. I kind of want to get that 2-shot burst thing after firing the Chris. So I think that'd be kind of cool to integrate, maybe 2-shot, 3-shot.
Sure. Does the Raptor MOSFET
Yeah,
do
it
that?
has abilities to switch all that stuff.
It's not going to be as
just kind of
crisp though.
programmed,
Like the
yeah.
cool thing about gas blowback guns is that, and Bob's mentioned this before too, as soon as you pull the trigger, the hammer drops, and then you're good to go. Like even if you had set up your MOSFET for a 2-round burst, you still kind of have to wait for it to wind twice through. So,
Oh yeah, no, correct.
it is a neat feature.
One of the things I do like about the Raptor MOSFET is when I do build my DMR eventually, when I get around to it, it does have that hold the spring back for the next shot, so it breaks pretty much instantly. Which
like
I
the
think
PSG.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it sounds pretty similar.
Okay.
And I think
that
that
doesn't
might.
sound similar to you at all. You have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it sounds.
Frank
it sounds
knows what I'm
similar to
talking
that.
about.
So.
Token Marui came out with that a long time ago. The Token Marui PSG one, some of you might remember. I know Frank does. It would actually have a
Damn
feature.
that Arnold kid.
I can't do it. Here, you do it. The TM-PSG one actually had a feature where you would
Yeah.
fire the gun and then the
Why would we
gears
ban
would
somebody?
reset the piston back to the
Because we don't
ready
chit-chat
position.
about Obama and politics.
Yeah, we don't do
Politics, yeah.
that. You can ban him or kick him. This
I'm gonna
is
kick
Airsoft.
him.
Yeah, I can.
It's called a timeout. If you want to talk about Obama, go somewhere else.
Yeah, we don't talk politics here. But yeah, the TM-PSG one would have that feature where the spring would reset back to firing position so that as soon as you pull the trigger, the BB would drop.
Right. Which I think is a really cool feature, so hopefully I can get that installed in my DMR whenever I get that going on.
That should be really cool.
Speaking of DMRs,
Yeah.
let's get
Frank's
into your
Old
first
Reliable.
Old Reliable. Old Reliable is not a DMR though.
Oh, did
It's
I
an
pull up-
SPR.
Did I get up the wrong way? You want to set that over there? Yeah, if you guys have any more questions about my gun or the parts or any of the gear that I use, my Tactical Gearheads is out on the YouTubes, so go check it out if you haven't already.
No, it's not an SPR either. It's
I
just...
agree.
It's not
Pick
an
up the wrong
SPR. it's
Oh,
just
you must have
carbine.
picked up...
I must have picked up the other one.
You have a DMR, an SPR version of this, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
thought so.
Okay, so this was my, actually the third airsoft gun. My first airsoft gun was ICS back then. It was horrible. I got rid of it really fast.
This is Frank's Old
Second
Reliable.
one's MP5, which is not a swordfish. That's sitting at home collecting dust. But this airsoft gun actually seen the most use.
This has a lot of old school airsoft all over it. The battery bag
stock?
on the stock. That's
Yeah.
something we used to do a lot back in the day because, you know, you either had to go with a full stock, which was cumbersome, or mount your battery externally. And that was the best option to keep the battery on the stock to keep the balance of the gun. And obviously the sight on top of the carry handle is also something that we used to do a lot back in the day,
So
especially for CQB.
Is this like a raised cheek weld that
Yeah,
also
that's
has
just-
the battery integration?
Yeah, that's just, no, it's just a cheap piece.
Okay.
So
Because I mean, I've never seen anything like
I just
that.
thought it would make the gun look a little cool.
Well, it's funny because it fits the bag right underneath there, and it looks like that's what it was made for. You know what I mean? So it definitely does.
Yeah, that's how you wrap it around. But yeah, a lot of the newer players don't know about this little pigtail coming out the back of the gun. So we used to run 9.6 large packs, and obviously you're not going to fit that battery in the.
Oh, let me go get one. I have one right here.
Those huge batteries?
Yeah, well, I mean,
dude, you've seen the
I forgot that we were doing this show and I didn't bring.
Have you seen those lipos? You see those lipos that I bought? Those huge ones?
No. But this is what we used to run on the back of the stocks, right? And so it would sit here in this pouch, and you just run the wire through there.
Right.
And I actually had my TM set up exactly like this too, except I didn't convert mine to Dean's because I'm not that skilled. But
back then, lipos were pretty expensive, and they weren't
available.
very good at all, too. They were just horrible. They would blow up on people.
Well, lipos, yeah, because lipos, they were like for RC helicopters, they were for other things. They weren't really made yet for Airsoft.
Though, so like a lipo would cost you like $70-80.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was bad. You know, so.
Plus, they'd be kind of small. Like this 9.6 4200 milliamp battery, you could go for like a whole weekend and not have to worry about your battery losing power.
So the scope sits up high because back then we didn't have all these low profile masks and stuff like that.
Right, you basically had those big bulky JT masks.
JT masks.
Yeah, exactly.
We used to play a lot of CQB with this too. Yeah, when we used to play in Zipper Factory, there really wasn't a true FPS limit. It was like
just play with what you had.
It was stated to be 380, but everybody kind of ran 400-ish. So whatever I used out on the field, I used in CQB. So this was it.
Right. Well, I mean, if everyone's running around 400, you don't really need to switch it up. So.
Yeah, and internally, I mean, it's the base gun's a classic Army.
Right.
So this has got the original classic Army gearbox that's in there. The original switch assembly through all the rounds is actually still in very, very good shape.
Yeah.
This is back then when they kind of got a lot better. And for a while, these things were selling like hotcakes.
When they upgraded their.
Tim, you actually were around on the sales floor during this period. So. Yeah, so classic Army cylinder kit, and then old school system of gear, system of motor.
Yeah, I mean this gun definitely it has a good balance. Like I feel like when I'm holding it, it's very balanced on both front end and back end, even with the battery bag and that larger stock.
Yeah, it'll kind of get back heavy with the big old battery pack.
Yeah, I assume that, but I mean with lipos nowadays,
you're pretty much
good.
But I mean
this is wired to
Dean's.
Correct. Yeah, the Dean's connectors. We talk about those occasionally. Some of the new Top Tech guns are coming out with these. Do you think this is a better connection type overall for pretty much
it's a better
everything?
connection type.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, back then I used to. All of my large packs are wired to Dean's, so now I'm kind of lazy. I don't really want to wire anything, so
Your PW wired to Dean's?
No. No, I just left it as small. To me, if it melts, then I'll wire it.
If they don't break, don't fix it.
Yeah, because it kills the ability to just pick up a battery and use it. This is true.
Yeah, I know in the marketing we use a lot of different batteries, and they're all wired to mini, so we just kept it the same. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
it makes sense.
All right.
Did you bring in any of your pistols?
I didn't bring in any pistols. I figured I'd leave the pistols for another show
We
because
can do another one.
I was a little later in my.
What I do want to see is the other rifle, because I did unzip that for a quick second to peek around in there, and I saw that.
The heavy.
You know, honestly, when I picked that up, I thought you had built us an OBR. That's what it reminded me
I
of.
did not build an OBR, but I did build this. This was actually the second fully custom airsoft gun that I built.
Nice.
Now, all you guys out there are clamoring, we want DMRs. This is a DMR.
This thing is so freaking heavy. I went to use it once.
And you put it back in
And
your bag.
halfway through the game, I took it back and put it back in the car and grabbed my my M4.
So you guys can see that side.
What did you use this at? What game was it that you
We were
used?
using that at Desert Fox.
Okay.
No, is it there? No, not Desert
Lennox.
Fox. Lennox, yeah.
Lennox back in the day.
What is this grip? I love this grip.
That is a GMP SPR grip.
Man, that thing is awesome.
Is
I
it a
feel like
copy?
the
Did Knights Armament come out with that?
the wraparound on this is awesome.
I'm not sure.
Guys, I want to stress to you right now.
Sure.
This gun is really heavy. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're gonna run
this-
around with this for a day, you're gonna feel it for sure.
This gun is filled with parts that you cannot buy anymore.
Really.
Yeah.
So why don't you break us down on some of these parts that we?
Okay, so on
I'll set this
my
down for you.
on Old Reliable, I had the 7-inch carbine version of the PRI carbon fiber handguard. This one isn't actually the PRI one. This is made by a Taiwanese company called PM Concept. That was apparently, or word on the grapevine is what it later on became known as Vegaforce or VFC.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
Wow.
Nice.
So pre-Vega Force, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So those are the same guys that made this. So it was the rail system, the outer barrel,
And the upper rail.
the arms inspired.
Arms.
Now
Slide.
this rail I'm noticing inside here, there's like little grommets with screw holes in them.
Mhm.
Is that for mounting?
I have no idea what those are for.
Okay, yeah, because I've never seen that before, so I was kind of curious to
But
maybe.
the arms those have that. I never really
Okay.
kind of did any research to figure out why those are there. You know, this is a garter arms inspired flip up or something. Yeah. Yeah. So internally, this is the gearboxes when Sistema first released their M150 gearbox, a little MOSFET on it.
Nice.
All the parts inside were changed out for Prometheus gears.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Does Probably still make gears?
Hmm?
Does Probably still make gears?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we can't keep them in stock.
I know, I feel like-
every time we order Promi gears, they sell out like next week.
Yeah. So
Seems
everything
like
in this
it's been there.
gun is probably about 7 years old.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Still running like a champ though.
Yeah. Still running like a champ.
That's
Well, if
awesome.
I've only used it once, then for sure it's gonna
No.
run.
Oh, you only. Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
true.
I mean, when I put it together, it did 570,
Mm.
and now it's still doing 570. So I was actually surprised I
So now,
chromed it earlier.
something that I was curious, why did you opt for the battery pack when you do have this large style stuff?
It's a magazine.
That is a
Is
magazine
it just called- it's a magazine pouch?
It's a magazine pouch, yeah.
Okay, so you actually do have a mag. Oh yeah,
There's a mag in
It's
there.
Okay.
in there.
Because I know a lot of you guys run magazine pouches with the battery pack
Yeah.
themed. You know what I mean? Because it fits perfectly, obviously.
No, the battery should go in the stock. That's why he has a full stock here. But
Okay.
the magazine makes reloading easier, especially if you're like prone or something like that, and then reaching around and
Right, just going over the top, grabbing a mag and going back
Yeah,
in is much
exactly.
easier.
The other thing is, I was wondering to see if you guys would actually catch on to this, but if you notice the receiver says SR15 on it.
Yeah.
It's shaped like an AR-10 receiver, however, it takes the standard format.
I don't want to say anything because I don't know as much about guns as you do, but I did notice that it looks weird because I was like, oh, it's a 7.62. I was like, oh, it's not a 7.62.
Yeah,
okay,
it
I better
feels
keep
like,
my mouth shut before I look at it.
I feel like this part right here is just a little miniaturized for
No,
what
but
the
yeah.
gun is.
Yeah,
Is
so
that a
this
GMP
is,
body?
This is actually one of the rarer kits. GMP at the time came out with an SR25 kit.
Mhm.
Now, a company called Trinity, I think they had them do a SR15
Hmm.
version of it.
So
that
you
took
got this from
a
overseas
Yeah.
then? I got you.
So I got this from overseas
Nice.
about 7 years ago. So
Right.
I don't know if anybody can find this anymore. I haven't seen any more pop up. At the time I bought it, I actually had to search several websites.
Mm.
You know, I ended up finding one.
Gotta pay to play, man. That's what we used to do
Exactly.
back in the day. We had to
Search.
find a way to make a gun unique for ourselves. You had to find some.
Exactly.
You had to find some obscure airsoft shop that had it in some
Mhm.
weird. You know, it was mostly Asia, but you know, like a lot of back then, like online retail wasn't as prominent as it is today.
So I really like the looks of this body, but all the weight in this gun is from that body right there.
I mean, I don't really know you'd estimate how much that thing weighs, but
it is.
it's got to be around a 10 pound or more scale.
Well, if it
With the
weighs,
scope and bipod, it's probably about
this
10
thing
pounds, yeah.
actually weighs just as much as my varmint rifle.
Yeah.
My AR, my 20-inch bull-barreled AR.
Is the body made out of steel or something? Is that why it's
It's
so
made
heavy?
it's a big chunk of metal.
Big chunk of metal.
The
I get it.
rail,
If
the
it was
whole
made out of
rail's
aluminum, it might be a
Really
little.
big, yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
this is a carbon fiber handguard. That doesn't weigh a whole lot.
That's,
The
makes me
arms,
say
the arms rails. Oh, that is made out of metal. Yeah, there's a lot of. heavy
outer
parts in
barrel
this gun.
all the way down.
Is it a classic army? Did you keep the classic army barrel in here?
No, that's the PM concept.
Oh, it comes with-
Barrel.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
everything,
So
okay.
it didn't come as a kit. I had to buy everything.
Oh,
separate.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so I had to
okay,
buy the
okay.
sight separate,
The sight,
the barrel
the barrel, and
separate.
handguard.
Yeah, everything was separate. Back then,
all pieced together.
back then they didn't do conversion kits a lot. They just made everything separate.
You
Nice.
bought it piece by piece and put it together.
Yep.
Nice.
Old school. Yeah, I can't predate any of the stuff that I played with. Just stuff this old back in the market, but
For
it is cool
sure.
to see this stuff because I mean you can't get it anymore. You know what I mean? Like none of the stuff. I mean a lot of the stuff isn't made. I should say, but it's really,
Some of the stuff's
really
made by
unique.
other manufacturers, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
But no, this body's definitely very rare. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. An SR25 fake out.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to switch all your magazines over, it's
Yeah.
simpler.
Yeah, that was the main thing for me is I didn't want to run anything.
Buy SR25
Yeah, the
That's-
GMP one had the extended gearbox. I didn't want to deal with that at the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the same
Deal with
thing.
mags.
The SSR. I was like, yeah, I like the SSR, but I don't want to. I don't want to switch all my magazine patches over to 7.62 if I don't have to, you know. But
But the SSR is not that bad, if I recall. Maybe Frank can correct me though. It's a regular version 2 gearbox with an extended hop up. Is that how the SSR is set up?
Extended nozzle.
An extended nozzle, but the hop up's also a little bit longer, is it not?
No, it's standard.
It's a standard
It's
hop-up?
a standard SCAR hop up.
Okay. So regular parts that fit in the SCAR will
So
fit in there.
like
So
the regular
As far as
SCAR had a
upgrading
nozzle.
goes.
This, I think it was M4 length.
yeah, but the SSR was like a long
yeah.
nozzle.
Oh,
It's just
really?
like the SCAR heavies.
But as far as internal upgrades go, if you're looking at an SSR, it's compatible with
You can drop pretty much
version 2
anything you
stuff.
want
Yeah.
inside of it.
Yeah, it's not a unique
Except for the
gearbox or
nozzle.
anything.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
we have access to those nozzles, so it doesn't really matter.
For sure.
Exactly. Cool. Well,
I actually got one more here.
you want to show 'em? Why not? Let's do it.
I'll trade you for this one.
Yeah, I don't want to. Oh God.
This is all I brought. Brought a pistol. Yeah, but that's not my first one. Though.
So, if
this thing.
if you guys were look on the website, you'll actually see this piece right here.
This
It's out
little,
of stock.
just let me.
That was
come around the corner
actually
blasting. It's like
yeah. Once I became a technician or airsmith for Airsoft GI, this was actually the first little custom that I built. And back then, no one had an AR pistol, no one had one available, no one had a kit, no one had anything. So
even
I
really
actually
shoulder.
had to piece this thing together.
That's neat.
It's ridiculous, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Battery
You know,
goes
have
in
you
ready
used
mix?
this?
Yeah, I
You
used to use it in
Okay.
CQB all the time.
Now, explain what went into making this, because this isn't your average, slap some parts on a gun.
Classic Army base.
For the body.
Yeah, for the body. But this is a Olympic Arms OA 90. I think it was the OA 93 handguard. So it's for a real gun.
Yeah.
M4 barrel need to be whacked. And back then we didn't really have too much access to threading, so we actually had to kind of
Thread it.
we actually glued it in place.
Oh, really? This thing?
So you definitely don't want to bang it on the wall.
The battery goes in here, right?
Dude, this thing got used quite a bit.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yeah, I banged against the wall and all kinds of stuff that flash hider and never came off. So yeah, so
Nice.
it does run. The battery goes into the ready mag, so everything was hidden and compact. So.
Nice. So you actually had to drill through the body to make, way for the wires and stuff like
Not
that.
really.
Right?
There's a little right underneath the
I see it.
the bolt release.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys might be able to see this on camera. I'm really not too sure. But basically, there's a wire for the bolt catch release that runs right through there into the ready mag system. So it's definitely a crazy looking little gun. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I feel like if this was just a huge suppressor, it'd be
Yeah,
even crazier.
except it couldn't be threaded. But I wanted to keep the
Keep
AR
it
pistol.
small.
Right. Get that pistol. So I've never seen an AR pistol before, especially nothing like this. This is a.
Yeah.
I know.
And
G&G's
the
got
other
that
reason
little-
why I used that gun, I didn't use it that much, was because it shot so hard that there wasn't engagement distance. So I actually had this with me too. So I was carrying both of these guns with me. So I was just like, you know what, this isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put two guns back and grab one.
one gun
Nice,
that does all
nice.
purposes.
Cool. Well, the only thing I brought to the table was my Glock 18C, which I've mentioned in numerous videos. This was like my first really good quality airsoft gun. I had, Springers before this. I had that mini AUG that I think I've mentioned before, like a scaled down 116 version AUG. But this is a KSC G18C. It's a really neat gun. I actually got this slide from an airsoft store in San Diego. I don't think it's in business anymore. The Q Project. You remember
I
those?
remember
guys?
that place.
Yeah, they had some custom slides for the G18C that I thought were really neat. I just got this blank one because I couldn't afford anything else. They had some other really cool designs, but it's just a sterile slide. There's no Glock trademarks or anything on the slide at all. The gun, I don't know what I have in here. I had a recoil spring in here at one time, but this gun's so old, like the recoil spring is not even that stiff anymore. I think it has a Type bore barrel and stuff in it, but I mean, at that time that I had this gun, there weren't very many upgrades for these things. I mean, you basically just had externals or a high flow valve or something like that. But I didn't really think the high flow valve was worth that extra X amount of dollars it was, because I mean, the thing already shoots about 300 FPS or so. It's mostly an indoor gun. You don't really need a pistol shooting harder than that unless you
What that
just
high
want to
flow
see.
valve bring you up to?
I never installed one.
Oh.
Yeah, I never installed one, so yeah, it's just pretty stock gun. I mean, with the exception of the Type 4 barrel and the slide, I don't really use it anymore. Once I got my TMI Kappa and realized how inaccurate this gun was, pretty much I put this thing away for good, and I haven't used it in years. But I mean, just the fact that Glocks aren't really available anymore, it's just kind of neat to have this sitting on my desk.
It's a desk piece, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Those
those things are kind of hit and miss, man.
Yeah.
There were some of them that were pretty accurate, but
Uh-huh.
there were also some that were
I don't know.
horribly inaccurate.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a neat gun.
I do love the style of the Glock, though. It's a really cool looking gun.
The Glocks are neat. I mean, when Bad Boys 2 came out, too, I mean, Will Smith was using two-tone G17s, so it was kind of neat to have this gun while watching the movie. Like, hey, that's my gun. Yeah.
Speaking of gun movies,
movies?
or movies that have guns in them, we're currently
There's a lot of
doing a little sneak peek at our next video that we're going to be doing, which is kind of a surprise to me. Everybody's like, we did our Battlefield 3 video loadout, which took an enormous amount of time to find all the gear and get it all properly done, which you guys love. We saw a lot of video views on that one. Frank spent a lot of time getting the gun all built. But as soon as we started reading the comments on what people want to see next, everybody was like, I want to see the Active Valor Mark 18. I want to see Mark 18 from Active Valor. And I'm like, you guys do realize it's like literally just like
An M4 with a rail system.
Yeah,
and
it's
a
like-
PEC box.
and
in it.
Wouldn't it be just a Mark 18?
It's a Mark
Yeah,
18,
that's what I'm saying,
It's,
like-
it's a really plain
that's
gun.
what everybody
So
wants
that
to
one-
see though.
So that one you could just grab a VFC Mark 18.
Pretty much. I mean, we didn't choose to do the Mark 18. There was one specific screenshot we grabbed of one of the guys in what was it, Active Valor. He was shooting. It was an M4 wrist basically with a PEC 15, a vertical grip, and an Elcan Spectre DR.
That's it.
And so since we had the Elcan here from G&G, they're coming out with a prototype.
Are they?
Yeah, it's on my desk if you want to see that on your way out. But
We actually, people were talking. We went and saw Zero Dark 30. It was a pretty good film. It was a little long, but it was a very good feature film.
How long was it?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah.
It was pretty much 2.5 hours of like, hey, check out this hot redhead while she fights crime.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I said it was a good movie, but it was a little long. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was
We're gonna be doing a Zero Dark 30 build if we
Yeah.
can.
weird. Yeah,
A lot of the stuff they use is really hard to find.
yeah. I have almost all. the
no,
parts
it's very
now,
easy to find. It's
if
just
you have the money.
yeah. Well, it'd be a like $2,000 to $3,000 airsoft rifle. So if anybody's down for that, yeah, we'll get all the real gadgets.
Yeah, if you
Why
guys.
don't we just get the real gadgets and see if anyone wants to buy it? You know, like, or if anyone doesn't want to buy it, we'll just keep it for ourselves.
Hey man, that
Because-
thing would look pretty sweet
Dude,
right about
if-
here on the wall. Replace
Oh
that
my God.
G33.
Okay, so that one was what? We're estimating about $2,000 to $3,000. I wanted to build a Knights URX, right? I was like, hey, Wall, let's build this gun. I think it'd be real cool. And he found out how much the sights cost, and I thought I was gonna die. He stared at me with this god awful stare. I was like, oh my,
What have I
he's
done?
gonna freaking kill me. Yeah.
How much was that thing?
Huh? Well, just the sights alone were like $300.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
For the replica
Iron sights.
Yeah, for the iron sights. So
Oh,
those are
are
the
they-
45-degree night slow profile sights. So
Yeah.
I was just like, let's get this. This is gonna be a cool gun. Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So calculating that gun, we would have had to sell it for about $1,500 to $1,800. So that's probably
not worth
Didn't
it.
the Leonidas sell for like 20?
no.
$200?
Leonidas is still sitting.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah, we
had
sold the
the
other one
Leonidas.
though.
The shorter one, right?
Yeah, the goose
Yeah.
with the gooseneck. That one sold pretty fast.
That one was awesome. That CQBR with the LaRue rail, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I do like LaRue. They make some very
Yeah,
good
and I
parts.
swear back that was the only one I was ever gonna build.
Yeah. The threading.
Goodness.
Yeah, we all look a bit tired. It's long weekends. We have
I'm not feeling very well
more
today
days.
either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
caught one of my employees' codes.
What gas did
Don't
we
get me
use?
sick.
We can probably just do like a Q&A for the rest of the day.
We could.
What gas did we use in the GBB versus AEG videos? We used
Vulcan.
Vulcan green gas, which is the same as King Arms, which is the same as KWA. It's
all green gas.
It's all the same stuff with a different sticker on it, basically.
Exactly.
Yep.
Vulcan was nice enough to send
Yeah.
us a box to test out, but I mean it's green gas. You can't really screw that up unless you somehow do. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure. But that was a really fun game. I did enjoy that day.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Team Gas Blowback was victorious.
You guys did play. You guys did play a good
Victory.
game.
You guys, what was that all about?
We went to HSP last week. We did a Gas Blowback versus AEG's game.
Oh.
So Mark brought out 2 of his high-speed guns. Andrew was using one of them. And
And I
then
was
Josh
using
brought
my
out his
rifle gun.
AEG. Bob and I
kind of
were.
high speed. It's up there. It's not like Mark's high
It's
speed.
not like
gun.
Mark's high speed, but it's
I mean,
it's up there.
I'm
Yeah.
like 25. Mark's is like 50.
500.
Yeah, 5,000.
So you guys
Basically just-
blowback guys won, or
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had
some
some superior numbers as well as the player base being a little better. I'm not the best
you
airsoft
guys had
in the
superior
world.
numbers, or
Yeah, they
No,
it was
well,
four.
It was
on
4 versus 3.
So
can I ask that the high speed guns run out of ammo and get then?
No.
Nope.
They were running
actually,
big
Jet ran out
guns.
of ammo once and had to use his pistol because he
Yeah.
ran out of gas ammo. So
Yeah.
You know, fighting those guys.
Yes,
with
Mark
those-
is running a dual sector gear gun. Are both of his guns dual sector?
I don't think any of his guns are dual sector guns.
No, his
Mark.
Scar for sure is a dual sector.
Yeah, he wasn't running his gun.
Oh, he wasn't using a Scar. He was
Is
using
it
the
Mark
other one.
on here?
Yeah,
On
Mark-
one gun.
On
yeah.
one
On
gun, right?
one gun.
On
One
one
gun
gun
was
that
a
day was
dual
it the gun you were using that day that I have 15 welts on me still from?
It was either his gun or the one Andrew was using. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm sure.
But
Yeah. So
Josh, did
so
you
speaking
like
of Mark,
Photoshop?
freaking FNG,
Yes, I did.
man.
the gun-
All these years, this little kid coming in, always brings his guns in, shoots up all of our BBs at the shooting range. By the way, he'd just stand there for like 30 minutes with his high-speed guns, and he'd just use up everything in that box. You know,
Just
so
burn through it.
yeah, so he's all like, "Hey Frank, man, I want to be attacked." Da 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 da. I'm all like, "All right, cool. When you're ready to work, come see me." Lo and behold, Tim steals him.
I did not steal
What
him.
a jerk!
I didn't steal him. This is exactly what happened. Daniel
Totally
gave
destroyed
him
the
to me.
kid's dreams.
Daniel gave him.
Wanted to
me.
work on airsoft. It's horrible.
He
Dude.
can still work on guns for the
Totally.
marketing department.
Yeah, exactly. And work on our guns.
So he's doing an awesome job. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
So you know,
Definitely a great
we'll
addition.
we'll leave him where he's at.
Yeah, he's a good addition over here. We're
He's like a
enjoying
bite.
it.
Definitely. We need somebody with Mark's knowledge.
Yeah,
in our
I can't tell you how many
department.
times during the day I'm like,
Thank God,
"Hey Mark, does this
because-
part come in this size or this color?" He's like, "Yeah, it comes in that." Cool, sweet, thank you.
Yeah.
Always answering questions. So he is a knowledgeable person. Hats off to you, Mark, doing a good job
Indeed.
out there. So, is there a Christmas mystery box?
No, but we are gonna do a mystery box next week. I think we're gonna do a New Year's mystery box. And the grand prize in this mystery box is gonna be an Echo One minigun.
Man. I had plans for that minigun, and then it just got again stolen from me.
We'll get another minigun for you, Bob. Or we'll get another minigun for you, Frank.
Oh my!
Jeez, you're not even
But
white.
not only is there going to be a minigun in this mystery box, there's also going to be a Barrett inside. So we
Barrett, what Barrett?
I don't know. Walter told me there's going to be a Barrett.
We still have a Barrett?
Barrett developed a sniper rifle.
No, shut up.
It's
He knows what a
highly-
Barrett is. I don't know what Barrett it's going to be. Probably the SOCOM Gear Barrett. But there's going to be a Barrett and a minigun
Do we
in this
still have a
mystery
Barrett?
box.
I think so.
I was told we were going to do a Barrett.
No, yeah,
so-
we have one because we checked one out to take
Yeah.
to one of the games.
Oh really?
We still have one, yeah.
Lights Out wants us to do a high-speed minigun.
High-speed minigun.
That thing already shoots like 88 BBs a second or something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it shoots. It's pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Holy cow! I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah,
It's got
but
like
the-
8 barrels.
the
I thought it
Echo
was
One-
just for looks. I didn't know it actually shot.
The Echo One minigun is not an AEG, so.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
Huh?
It's not an AEG?
No, not really.
What is it then?
Well, it kind of is.
It's battery powered.
no, it's yeah.
It is an AEG.
Okay, the way they designed it is as
Use a
the
car
barrels
battery.
rotate,
Uh-huh.
there's something inside that. There's a
Spring.
piston and a spring for each barrel.
yeah.
So when it hits a certain spot, it'll start dragging that piston back
Mhm.
and fires. So
Mhm.
when before you start firing the gun, you're supposed to kind of prime it. So
Mhm.
you grab the barrels and you turn it, and it'll actually fire off a few shots.
Mhm.
And then
So it's like a Springer, a highly effective Springer.
It's
It's like a battery powered
it's
Springer.
like
or
a
something
battery
like that.
powered Springer. Yeah.
It uses a motorcycle battery, I think,
Oh, really?
in the battery pack. Yeah, that thing shoots ridiculously fast. There is one of the first videos we put up
I
on
haven't shot one.
GITV was Big Dave from Jag shooting off the minigun at one of our sales or something like that. And so it just rips like you can't tell each piston firing. Like normally, you know, if you have an AUG, you can have like meet. You can hear the thing just hums like and it
Yeah,
just
I
like
know.
spits out BBs.
So hey, if I had $3,500 to spend on an airsoft gun,
That still wouldn't be it.
that's the one to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you win it in the mystery box, you don't need to because I'm sure the mystery box.
Do you
is
know
only
the
gonna
price
be,
for this mystery box, Jim?
I don't, but it's probably not going to be $3,500. It's probably going to be around the
feel like somebody-
$200 range.
like
or
we
something.
made break
You are
even on
pointing
that.
a gun in my face.
This
Just
is
stop
correct.
that. Yeah, stop that.
Oh, the guns. All day we sit at our desks and play with guns, so it's like, I don't know.
We know they're not loaded. Oh, that's the thing that really bothers me though. When we take pictures and put them up on Facebook, and
Oh,
people
I
are
know.
like, "Take your finger off the trigger." It's like, man, I already unloaded the gun. There's no gas. There's no BBs anywhere on here.
Exactly.
It's just a picture.
Yeah. People freak out at that too. Like,
You guys have a gun? Are you kidding me?
like in the pictures, people are always commenting about just the most ludicrous stuff. I swear. I love it. Love it though.
That's the internet, though.
It is. You think that people would just do that?
That's like
Go
the
on the
action.
internet and tell
That's like the
lies.
action shot, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, the standing in the
That's
front room.
like the
yeah.
action shot. So
Like,
if
hey, we
someone
got
if someone
4
really
million.
wants to complain, you could just say, "Oh yeah, we were actually shooting at HKS."
He was getting lit up. in
Yeah, he
office.
was. Yeah, he was in the middle of getting lit up. You know, we put a face mask on him. We just decided to shoot him.
I would love to like just turn the camera over on that shot and just have it be like, ah! Just all these views hitting him. So.
Just ducking.
Tim, do I use lipos? Yes, I do.
Lipos are legit.
They
What
are.
do you think about World War II airsoft guns? They're cool for collector pieces. I wouldn't really want to use one though, in my
The
opinion.
thing about a lot of people ask for World War II airsoft guns, but it's kind of like one of those things that they don't sell very much.
Yeah,
There's a very small niche of collectors or airsofters out there that have a World War II get up. So it doesn't really fit into a lot of arsenals very well. But you know, they're out there. They're available. A lot of them are made by really high quality Japanese manufacturers, which makes the guns really expensive. But you know, like
And when something happens,
yeah, you can't do much with it unless you fix it yourself. So
kind of up the creek.
exactly.
So yeah, so what Josh said, they're really nice collector's pieces.
If you want something cool to put up on your wall, I'd totally go for it. You know.
Do I run mid caps or high caps? It depends on where I am. I run both.
Mid caps when we have to, high caps all the time.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way for that. I like running high caps.
I run high caps when I can. Although I've gotten kind of used to running mid caps recently, so I haven't used a high cap in a while. It kind of depends on what gun I'm using, because some of my guns, the MAG plastic mid caps don't feed very well in them. So if that's the case, I'll run a high cap if I can. Because those plastic mags, they're really light and they work pretty well in most guns, but sometimes they're a little finicky.
That's actually an interesting question.
But
What do you guys know about the Scorpion Evo? That's a gun from the Black Ops 2. I don't know if that exists in airsoft.
do
form,
you
does it?
know what? ASG had a prototype. It was just a shell at SHOT Show last year.
Action Sports
Remember
Group?
that thing? Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that thing? It was kind of like in the display case. We're like, hey. what's
oh, I
that?
kind of
Remember
do.
that?
Yeah. That's
that-
like an SMG, like
Yeah.
a 9
Yeah, it's a
mil
little-
SMG or something
I
like that.
feel like it's kind of like someone took like a UMP and then just kind of
So they were
added
talking
a
about
G36.
it
We're
being
talking
an
about
A-
producing.
Yeah, they're talking about it being an AG, but I mean, ASG has some pretty cool stuff. Too bad we can't get our hands on any of it.
Yeah, we've been working with them, or trying to work with them for a while.
Come on,
Just nothing.
I think they had like LMT, like
Mhm.
BFC built LMT guns or something.
Yeah,
Remember
they
that?
had some
Just
awesome
all
stuff.
over. Man,
Not to mention that ASW APO carbon fiber sniper rifle
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with Bobber that it was really awesome looking, but we just don't know what the holdup is with that.
Someone is asking for Bob vs. Tim for team patches. Are we going to do something like that, Tim?
Define team patches. We're making BVT4 patches.
Those exist.
But like one for Tim's team, one for Bob's team, maybe, or maybe there'll just be some other swag per each team. Not really sure.
That's actually a pretty cool idea, though.
Ha.
Have the
team
our
patches.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
we could. We might be
Well,
able
I
to
mean,
whip
I
something
know.
up.
Well, I
We'll
don't
make
want
Bob.
to. That's kind of a secret.
should
There's
make
some other stuff going on.
should make
Airsoft
Bob the
EC1. He's on my team. Thank you, good sir. For the Timpire.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
This Empire may do well.
Is the Timpire going to win again? Of course we are.
Too many
You don't even
games.
have to ask.
Josh, what team
Hey, is
will you
Bob
be
gonna
on?
be a sore loser if he loses again? 'Cause
Bob is a sore
I
loser.
heard he was a pretty bad sore loser.
Bob just
Being a
really,
little
really
baby.
wanted to win. And, you know, he felt it was a little unjust that the game got called early.
That's messed up because he always has like these schemes to like take you down.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
like,
Bob-
betray you. And
Bob
stuff.
converted a couple of the Airsoft GI guys in BVT1 to capture me. So these guys were pretending to be on my team, and then they switched halfway through.
I love
Towards the
seeing
end.
like the. It's kind of funny because I was during the BBT3 during the promo and stuff like that. I was kind of seeing both sides of the field. Like, what are you guys both working with? Because I hadn't signed an allegiance yet, so to speak. And I was looking at Bob's. Bob's got like sheets and pages and lists and diagrams of all the stuff that he wants to do. And Tim's manifesto is kill Bob's team. And like, and that was it. And it was like, okay, let's go do this, guys. And it was just so funny because I'm looking at Bob's got like, spies and bombs and all this stuff, and then Tim's, yeah, we should probably kill all of them and win the objective. And I'm like, I like your methodology.
Fake map ones too.
No, yeah, in BBT2. So this is the scheming that Bob did. Okay, for the first game, it probably sucks that he's not here to defend himself. That's what he gets for not coming into work today. In the first game, Bob signed or created an allegiance with some of the Airsoft GI guys that were on my team to switch teams so that he could capture me. Fortunately, the game ended before they could succeed. In the second game, Bob had Aaron make up a map of the field, because I had never been there before, with our objectives on it, except he effed it up so that the map was not correct at all. Now, fortunately, I didn't even use the map at all, and I told Bob, like, dude, Bob's like, here's your map for the game. And I was like, thanks, I'm not going to use this. He's like, please use it. And he was like begging me to use it. I'm like, okay, fine, Bob, I'll take the map. And then I immediately discarded it. But I found out later that the map was incorrect the whole time, so it's a good thing I didn't use it.
Exactly.
And then the third game, I don't think he tried anything fancy, did he?
The third game, I don't think he really got the options.
The third game, he didn't try anything fancy, but Jet really effed me over in the third game.
Yeah,
okay, because I called in an airstrike during the second game on Viper, and that would have annihilated like 100 of Bob's guys because the game was so condensed. And Jet was like, oh, sorry, Tim, it's a dud. It didn't go off. It's a dud. Later to find out, he just didn't throw it because it was unsafe or some shit like that. I don't know.
How did you find out?
I found out because Jet and I were planning BBT4, and he's like, yeah, dude, I still got one more of those Moabs left. And I was like, what do you mean you have one more? You told me it was a dud. And he's like, oh, you got me.
Was that when we were in DC or?
That was when we were in Virginia, yeah, and I was talking with Jet about it. And I was like, man, you screwed me over. I mean, it could have gone either way. I think that had the game not ended early-ish, Bob's team might have taken over the Palace. But for sure, if I had gotten my airstrike in, there's no way they would have taken it.
Well, where they were at, that would have wiped out so many of them. I was watching the footage, and everybody seemed to group up right in that beginning stage where you initially wanted to launch it, and that would have just been.
Well, here I'll back up Bob from I think he strongly disagrees with
what?
your opinion of Moab.
Of course he does. Bob's not gonna concede.
But
but dude, that thing is supposed to have a 150-foot kill radius. Viper is not 150 feet wide.
150 feet.
It's probably exactly that. No. So I told Bob that it's a Massif jacket. If I had thrown the Moab right at the beginning of the game, it would have annihilated all of their guys all in once. So that would have taken care of all of their respawn tickets, and we would have at least just mowed them down.
At least set it back by half.
At least, still, we would have mowed them down.
I agree with you on that one. That playing field was a little small for having people over there.
I was actually planning to just be a jerk in that game and just come on and just start randomly keep playing.
just
start shooting at people running around, but I got too lazy. I didn't want to go. That would have been fun though. I think next time. Well, I can't do that next time because I'd have to fly to Virginia. So
this is correct.
Well, we'll see. We may be there for another venue. We'll see how that goes though.
Dun, dun, dun.
What is the
tanks?
Somebody asked me to say Trollololo, and I did. I don't know what that's from.
Trollololo is he's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
He sings a song, Trollololo.
Why are people having to say weird things?
Because Tim will read it and then say it.
Blood Diamond Pants?
What's a blood diamond?
I'm not sure.
What is a
I'm wearing Lucky Dungarees. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what blood diamond pants. She's wearing like Versace or something.
Mm-hmm.
How old are all three of you?
I'm 18.
I'm 19.
I just turned 12.
12. There you go.
So, I'm your typical Airsofter. High speed or nothing.
High speed or nothing.
He's not wearing pants. That's a trick question.
I feel old. Hey, cool. I'm 17. Nice.
I just bought a KWA LM4C.
Nice.
Is there any idea where the spare mag? Ooh.
You break your magazine lip?
You should be more careful with your stuff, man.
Spare mag lips.
You know, because the LM4, well,
KWA had
not this one, but I mean the regular LM4 mags are supposed to have replaceable lips.
Yeah.
Do we have those?
We can't see the chat right now if you're talking to us.
Not
Tim is actually looking on the
sure.
website because he doesn't know how to use Windows that well.
There you go.
Click the other one.
I remember.
Ha! There we go.
I remember.
We have LM4 magazines for sure.
Does GI sell any more Glocks? We do not. Glock does not sell
Why is there
Airsoft
gas
box.
prices on that mystery box?
Huh?
Go down. Why are those gas prices?
Because it's a gas gun mystery box.
Oh,
Gas prices.
Hey, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, I know.
guys.
Kevin came up with that. I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
so what's up with our hippo patch, dude?
I think it's in construction.
In production, man.
What is it gonna say?
I mean, you're not saying anything. It might just be hungry,
Just
hungry
motherfucking
hippos.
hippo.
Yeah, might be hungry, hungry hippos.
MFH, motherfucking hippo.
I think that's what it should be.
MFH, and we'll put that on the side of the gun. The MFH. Cool. It's been said. We're coming up with new patches for you guys. Different ideas thrown around
Yeah.
the office.
I'm sporting the hippo.
I'm definitely gonna be sporting.
I like the
patch.
arm to the teeth one. That one's good.
Which one? The shark or
The shark one.
Okay, the shark one's pretty cool. I like the tiger
My
one's pretty sweet
FPG's
too.
loading nozzle broke today.
Sad face, man.
Well, if you email manager@airsoftgi.com, I actually have a couple on my desks. So,
FPG loading nozzle?
probably sell you one for a small fee for the guy that broke a FPG loading nozzle.
Oh, funny. Some of the guys at KWA are watching this, and they're saying that no spare mag lips are for sale. If he calls in and asks nicely, we can probably find one.
Call KWA. Ask them
Ask
nicely,
nicely, and they
say-
can probably find one.
Say
Yes.
Santa for
Bag.
Christmas. I would like.
Beg. Yes.
If you can, make
But
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask nicely. They'll take care of you. They're really good about taking care of customers.
Indeed. That is one of the nice things about having KWA right down the street from us is you can just go over there and be
Well,
like,
I
hey,
mean, for KWA USA, any KWA gun is going to be taken care of by KWA. This is something we've mentioned before.
this is
That
true.
you can get the, I don't want to say fake, but you can get the stuff overseas. You can get KWA guns overseas, but unless you buy it through a dealer that
You don't
went through
get that.
KWA USA,
Yeah.
you're not going to have the support that KWA has. And
Right.
so, if you're interested in the magazine lip, call KWA, ask nicely, and they will probably find one for you.
Hey, they're working today. Huh?
No, they're not.
Oh, they're
Oh,
not?
they're at home? Oh, okay.
I was gonna
Gene's
say
at,
like,
Gene's at
oh,
home
wow.
watching us. Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Gene,
Gene.
where are you?
June.
I don't know what his.
We gotta have
what his
stage
thing
2
is.
of our
Is
driving
he
challenge.
undercover?
I don't know.
It's not Traverse evac game. It's not gonna happen, man.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think they want to cooperate with us.
I don't know.
Joint ventures. It would be cool. Though.
I agree. It would be awesome. It'd be really a lot of fun, but just feasibly, it's not gonna work out.
Probably.
Not because we hate each other or anything like that. They're all really cool guys, so I don't have any problems with any of these
No
guys.
problems at all.
I haven't met Matt yet, but I hear he's a cool dude. So no, we haven't met. I was gonna go with you guys up to the canyon that one day, but I didn't get a chance to. I think we were just gonna go cruise around in our cars.
Yeah.
Javers Rake, Ravik,
Ravik. Does the LM4 have a convertible barrel? Yes, I believe it does. So
It's glued on quite tight.
it's glued on tightly, but it is possible to unthread it. So what you could do is to get an LM4, take off the barrel extension. The only problem is your inner barrel is going to be exposed, and so you would need to either cut and crown that or get a new inner barrel to have a
Hey.
shorter gun.
I heard from numerous people that KWA uses pop metal. Thoughts?
False?
False?
Blanketly false?
All of their stuff is aluminum.
Patently false?
Not all of their stuff is aluminum. I haven't come across a KWA gun that wasn't made out of aluminum.
Does it really matter?
Well, I guess you have to define pot metal. How much zinc content is in the steel? Like, how are you really gonna test it out?
Better get those testers. Let's test
I
this.
think you'll get paid for this. Yeah, I mean, I guess Frank's right. It doesn't really matter because if something happens to it,
I mean, at a certain point, you gotta take in consideration costs. Would anybody buy a all aluminum $300-400 KWA pistol?
No.
Probably. Few of us would.
I
Maybe.
probably might.
Are you talking about the
Yes.
pistols?
I'm talking about everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter, Drew. Imagine. Imagine
Imagine
Frank in a
Frank in a
bikini. Yeah. You will be scarred for life. Yeah, your wiener will no longer work.
Tim, what rig do you run for CQB?
I've been running my Spectre plate
Doesn't really
chest
switch.
carrier.
His gear just runs the same.
Oh, you got one of those too?
Oh,
The
Yeah.
Spectre plate? Oh,
The
dude.
Spectre plate.
Lovely.
It's not the same one as yours though. Mine only has the front plate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's more of they call it a chest carrier on Spectre.
Oh, no, but I like mine.
The Spectre chest
You
rig
have
plate
a
carrier
message
is a
from
very nice rig.
Okay.
No.
No?
I think Gene. Oh, so that's why.
It's a possibility.
Gene, that's disgusting. I can't believe you're thinking
Huh?
of me like that.
What?
I don't think that's him.
That wasn't him.
Yeah.
I know for sure it's not him. I want to buy a Banshee. Oh, Andrew has a Banshee. Talk to him about it.
He has a shell back tactical Banshee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that little spring that came out of the gun is what allows the loading nozzle to return after it's fired into its resting position. So, let me see, that's FPG, so it will take the same springs as the ATP. So, loading nozzle is going to be different, but that spring we actually should sell.
I have no idea what's
I
going
don't know.
The loading nozzle return springs.
Loading nozzle return spring? You mean underneath the
ATP.
follower?
No. On your here KSC Glock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the return spring for okay, I gotcha.
Return spring for the loading
The
nozzle.
thing that pulls it back into the blowback chamber. Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's 2 springs on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're the same ones as the ATP, same one as the Glock. So you
Nice.
shouldn't have a problem finding those springs.
For sure.
Should have 2 of them.
It does have 2. I actually remember having to very delicately transfer my gas blowback stuff from my plastic slide to this one.
Why didn't you guys say you were a Banshee? We did say he was wearing a Banshee. We specifically said it was a shellback tactical, if I recall correctly.
I don't know if we mentioned it in the video.
Banshee.
Oh,
We
I
don't
thought-
sell the Banshee, so there's really no incentive for us to put it in there.
This is true.
Andrew likes to,
What is
be
the
like
Banshee?
it's the
Shell
chest
back.
carrier or the plate carrier that
Yeah.
Andrew has.
Oh.
Yeah, because we don't sell anything like
We
that.
don't sell that, so there's no real incentive for us to put it in there. If you're interested in it, if you already know what it is, you can look for it. But
Is
I mean,
Andrew
we have
one-
stuff that's very similar. Andrew's kind of a fashionista. He wants to have like all the.
Is
cool
Andrew
stuff.
one of those guys that when we go out to a range day, they're all in full tactical gear practicing their mag pull moves?
I've never been to a range day with
'Cause
Andrew,
that would
so
be
I can't.
so funny to see.
I can't say that for sure. It probably
Is he really? Wow.
I've never done that.
He
I've
is.
never been to the range with Andrew.
Wow.
But I know
have
that he
been.
was doing a lot of the Magpul stuff at our game at HSP the other day.
It's like, oh look, there's a car. How
So he's
convenient.
literally one of the ones in the tac pass and everything. That's so funny.
Well, it's an efficient way to hold your stuff.
It does. Well, I mean, when you're doing training, so to speak, for whatever it is that you're doing, it would make sense to train with the gear.
Yeah.
Just gonna say that. With Andrew being a cop,
You guys ever shoot at
So-
North 1 at Burrow Canyon?
that's where we're at.
North one.
North 1?
That's where we're at.
Is that the one you have to go down the road?
Yeah, you kind
You
of
go
go
up,
across
you
the
go
way,
up
you
the
go
road.
all the way up. It's,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
highest level.
Yeah.
That's where we were shooting at
I've been there.
when I went with
Yeah,
you.
so this is our range day. We buy a whole bunch of potatoes and we make them blow up with the shotguns. Shoot at bowling pins and assorted fruits.
Dude, we did that bowling pins up there.
I go up there with golf balls, and if you hit them just right, it's just like hitting them with a driver with the shotgun.
Oh, yeah?
It's so funny.
Nice.
And then when we get bored towards the end of the day, we actually try to take down tree branches like this thing. with our
Shoot through
ARs.
'em?
Yeah, so we just keep shooting into them, and then whoever brings it down gets free lunch.
The last day that I actually went to go fire a firearm was during Bob's birthday, I think, up in Bakersfield. There's this range out there called like Five Dogs Range or something like
He
that.
keeps saying he wants me to take me to that place.
It's a really, really dope range. Their rifle range is freaking like they have like a really like 500-yard range for
Oh,
like
wow.
high-powered rifles.
Wow.
They have like a rim fire section for all the 22s, and they have already like little steel targets that you can just plank around that and stuff like that. And they have the shotgun range with like throwers built into them, just like as long as you have your own clays, you can toss them out. So it's a really dope range. And you just pay like one fee and you have access to the whole thing. So it's a pretty cool place to go shoot if you're into that sort of thing.
Right.
Wait, airsoft man. Whoa. Okay. If how do I install the new nozzle? I can't even get the broken piece off in the back. Okay. If you cannot figure out how to get to the slide of the FPG, then I suggest you have somebody
With-
fix that gun for you so you don't mess it up anymore. It's one of the big things.
Airsoft Urban? I feel like
Yeah, I have the slide off. Too bad we don't have a video of how far it is. Okay. Have you ever taken apart a KWA Glock before?
Are we starting a new segment called "How Frank Got
Well,
Get Through This"?
you guys asking me questions.
I
We're
know,
not gonna
just-
ignore it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
This
Sorry.
isn't. I'm
Does
not.
the FPG
I mean,
come
we
apart
told
with
you what the parts do.
No, but the Wii, yes. Okay, the Wii is actually a TM clone, so it's gonna be different.
Check out that YouTube.
I haven't taken
Someone's
this.
got
I'm
to
not
do
gonna
that
do
apart.
Stuff like that.
Actually, Tim, give me that.
Alright.
This will
Is
work.
there a reason
Okay.
why Tim and Bob were at Rolling Heights Park about a week ago?
Wow, somebody is stalking you guys.
We were there for the LA County Sheriff's Department toy drive. They were doing a toy drive for the community and stuff like that. Airsoft GI actually donated.
That was a horrible day for me.
The toy drive?
No, not the toy drive.
I was like,
That's when I was cracking the boxes. I didn't get anything.
Oh yeah, that day. No, that was the same day. But yeah, we were at the toy drive at Rolling Heights Park. We donated probably close to $1,000 worth of toys to the toy drive. So that's why we were there. Was that you that I saw there? Because I was going out to look for Bob, and I was on the phone with Bob, and some guy was like, it was probably Silverback. He was like, Bob's right there, and somebody pointed him out to me.
Oh,
I was like, oh, thanks. That's convenient. And so I was like, Bob, I can't see you. Jump up and down on one leg, and then bark like a dog, so I could identify him. And he actually, I think Bob did it, except for the barking part, I think.
sounds like Bob.
Yeah. Tim, how is SC Viper game for Warfighter? I was only there for a couple of games, to be honest with you, because right when I arrived, they had like a lunch break or something like that, and I had to leave later on in the day. So, I mean, the games went smoothly for the ones that I did play. It was kind of a quick day for me. I just kind of went down to say what's up to all of my friends that were out there, but I don't know. I mean, games at SC Village are pretty fun. The Viper field is really fun, especially because it doesn't have any paint on it. The Supply Depot field is pretty neat. You know, it's really compact and it's really there's a lot of barriers and stuff like that. So if you've never played there, I would highly recommend it. But yeah, I didn't play on any of the paintball fields that day, and I didn't even really stay that long.
Left out.
What's the painted gun behind you? That is a replica of the Black Hawk Down 733 that
Always asked.
Shigard was.
Everybody
Dude, people
loves
want painted
painted
guns.
I'm telling you, Frank.
We've got to get a painting booth in the tech department and find somebody who's artistic enough to paint to paint some guns, because I think that there's a lot of people out there that would send us their guns to get painted.
Was that Gordy's gun?
No, Peter Lewandowski. Hey, that's the guy that's asking you about his FPG. Peter Lewandowski is a very avid follower of our stuff and Ryan from Airsoft HD Minnesota.
Cool.
So he came out.
The FPG.
Yeah, that was the FPG he was
Okay.
asking about. He was asking
So
about
he has to take it apart, how to get to the loading nozzle. So I'm going to explain it to him real quick. All right. Your FPG slide will have a little blank thing here that simulates the rear sight. You just kind of push that aside. You're going to see a screw right there. It's a really small screw. It's down screw.
0.5 millimeter or something like that.
Okay, over there. There's a little screw right there after you push the whatever this here is aside. Loosen that screw. Pop this pin out the back. The pin will allow you to pop out your selector lever. Be careful, there's
Don't
a
lose the
spring
little
and
ball
there's a
in
little
there.
ball in there, otherwise it's not going to work. Once you get the selector lever free, unscrew that and the whole unit, blowback unit, just pops out. There, and then put it back together. Is the reverse of that, but it's actually a lot harder.
So
Yeah.
if you feel like you can't do it, send it in.
Send it to us.
They'll fix it for you.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Hey, you did upgrade the barrel.
Yeah, looks like it. Even
Mad
with that,
Bull?
it didn't get any more
No,
accurate.
it didn't. Actually, the stock barrels are actually kind of better.
Probably. I don't know. I think I can probably find my stock barrel. But like I said, I don't even use that gun anymore, so it's no big deal. Uh-oh. You know what's funny is that I used to have an M9 also, and with the Glocks, the selector maybe. With the Glocks, as soon as you rack the slide back, it locks into place. You know, just like that. The M9 is not that way. With the M9, you have to push that lever down, Frank. So one time, I took my M9 apart, and I put the slide on. I didn't push the thing down because I thought it was like the Glock. I let go, and my slide went. I was like, no! Because that freaking, the spring guide and spring for the M9 is such a bitch to get in place.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny watching like new employees take it apart, and they're like, "Oh God, I can't get it back together."
Dude, it's such a pain
Help.
in the ass. It's a pain in the ass unless you've done it before. But yeah, I thought my M9 was a Glock. I just went, whip, and I let go. And my slide just like shot forward. I was like, oh shit.
That's really fun. I remember when I first came in, somebody took apart my 1911, and I was like,
No, that is not an OE Tech hoodie. It's a 511 hoodie. Somebody's asking. I always find the need to correct
OE
people.
Tech.
Yeah. People can't tell the
Is
difference,
that this
man.
year? No, this is a 511.
Yeah.
Apparently the email I sent out had no attached links.
Any boots you recommend?
Under Armour Valsets.
The Under Armour Valsets boots are nice.
Yeah, these right here.
Those are the Valsets boots. Those are nice.
Yeah, I bought these for Airsoft originally, played one game, and they were so comfortable, I just wear them every day now.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. I use them in my loadout, and I freaking adore them.
I do not hate OE Tech/Condor. I think that they make good quality stuff. But a lot of people think that I have an OE Tech/Condor jacket, and I don't. So it's just really a matter of getting the nomenclature correct on stuff.
See, Tim likes the finer things in life, and if you if you mistake it for something that's not as fine, he'll immediately correct you. Yeah, because he. How much does that jacket cost?
This one? Yeah. This one's only like $120.
It's only
It's not that
$120,
bad.
so it wasn't that bad. But his other Tad
The
jacket.
Tad was $260 at the time.
They do all.
It has since gotten more expensive. It has since gotten more expensive. The Tad Stealth hoodie's like $330 or something like that right now. So I don't know what warrants the extra $70, but when
That's
I bought that
because
jacket
it's
a while
the
ago,
new
it's
Stealth
the
hoodie.
Stealth hoodie like 4.0 or whatever it is.
Is it the Tad Reloaded?
No, I don't know. It's I don't know.
Not that
I haven't really been on Tad's website recently. It's not really good for your bank account.
They don't
but-
have the cool, they don't have as many cool knives anymore.
They don't. They really kind of scaled back their inventory
Well, those
like,
knives,
drastically.
They used to carry quite a few, 800 to 1,000.
No, they still have a couple of custom. They still have a couple of custom, knives that are like the Tad edition of knives. Like Strider makes a couple of like Tad edition knives that are super freaking expensive. But I mean, they used to have a wide range of gear and stuff like that. I used to shop Tad's website pretty frequently, but I can't afford to do that too often.
Jackets are expensive, especially when you start buying Massive, Tad. Those things are very, very pricey.
It works though. I've used my Tad jacket in a couple of Airsoft games, and it keeps you warm. It keeps you protected from the elements. There's nothing better. There's nothing that feels better than being prepared for bad weather. Because there are times very seldomly, when it does rain out here, and I'm out there with the BMW CCA setting up the cone courses and stuff like that for some of our events, and I'm basically waterproof from head to toe with my soft shell jackets, my Gore-Tex shoes and stuff like that, and so I'm fine. I'm out there setting up cones, and I'm doing everything.
Dude, even this jacket, because I actually bought this jacket out when we were in Virginia, and remember when we were walking up to the Lincoln Memorial, and it was a pretty cool night.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have a jacket, you would be cold.
Yeah.
But walking that very long distance for me, anyways,
Yeah.
I started to get sweaty. Dude, there's these big old flaps right here. I just unzipped them and instantly cooled down.
Cool down, yeah.
And then when I got kind of cold, I just zipped them back up.
Yeah, so when you have nice gear and you're prepared for bad weather, that's a good feeling. No, I am not a part of the SCCA, the Sports Car Club of America. The BMW CCA, the BMW Car Club of America, is the organization I run with, or drive with, I guess you could say. But yeah, I mean, they set up the cone courses the day ahead of time, and so when I'm out there and I got all my awesome gear on, I feel nice and cozy, especially when it's raining. Everyone else is wearing their cotton sweaters and stuff like that. They're all miserable. All I can do is laugh.
So how was your first driving event, if I can ask? Since we're talking about Airsoft first, what was the first day on an autocross course?
My first autocross day was February 20th, 2010, and it was actually with the San Diego chapter in Qualcomm Stadium in SD. And that was a rainy day too, which was kind of interesting. My very first driving event was on a rainy course, but yeah, that was a couple years ago.
How many cones died a horrible death?
From me, not very many, because I was so, I had no concept of speed and no concept of traction in the wet, driving at speed and stuff like that, and so because of that, I was scared to crash and I was driving really, really slowly. So I actually didn't hit very many cones, but I didn't actually start hitting a lot of cones until I started getting faster and faster and faster. I started pushing the envelope more and more. And so one of the things that you can do to make yourself a better driver is to use up all of the track. So at first, where I was staying completely clear of all the cones around the edge, I started bringing my line in a lot closer and closer, and it's when you get faster that you start actually hitting a lot of cones. Because, you know, you just got to keep pushing the envelope closer and closer, and until your tire's like right on the edge of the cones, you're not maximizing the space on the track. So I didn't hit very many cones my very first couple events out, but it wasn't until a couple of years, about a year later.
I really wanted you to just say you took out the entire section.
No, I never did. Because, like, you know,
I guess you're too reserved for that, Tim.
well, it was my very first event out. It was raining. One thing that was really kind of surprising, the thing that really got me addicted to driving was seeing how well the instructor drove my car that they'd never driven before, you know, in the wet. And then you really get a sense of, like, wow, these cars can freaking handle, you know? Like, you get a sense of what the car's capable of.
Right.
And so it kind of gives you something to shoot for. And then to know on top of that, that obviously, you know, it's not his car. You know, he probably wasn't trying as hard as he could have been. It's like, oh, damn, it's like a whole new realm of speed that is untapped in my, for me. Well, it's 3 o'clock. We've been on for an hour. Do I even drift? No. I don't do that. Drifting is not fast.
Drifting is fun.
Drifting is for show, it's for looks.
It's fun.
I'm more about driving fast. The Chris is not in stock.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, well, we're gonna head out of here. It's 3 o'clock our time. We're done for the day. We're gonna go have Christmas Eve dinner with our families. Thanks for joining us. This is actually a pretty good turnout considering the holidays tomorrow. I was kind of surprised.
Thanks for all coming out, guys.
Catch us next, I guess our next show, we're gonna do another Thursday show. It'll probably be you, me, and Bob or something like that. It's coming Thursday,
Thursday.
Cool. So we'll catch you guys after the holidays. Everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. Have a good one,
Get drunk off of eggnog.
Peace.
Be responsible.
Later.
There's a little bit of